Okay, so our board state has been established. Why didn't I swing it with everything? Fuck, I don't actually know. Y'all know me. I don't make the best decisions. Well, too bad we couldn't have the Simic Ascendancy down for that. We definitely would have procced it, huh? What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Bant Simic Ascendancy counters deck. I say Simic Ascendancy with hesitancy because this deck does such a great job of just beating your opponent down that yes, it can win with Simic Ascendancy, which is really, really nice and rare. It can also just win with just smashing your opponent in the face. Now this deck does come to us from the Bearded Fox DM, so again, if you're enjoying the decks that he's putting out, be sure to check him out. Give him a follow over on twitch.tv/thebeardedfoxdm. He plays Magic the Gathering Arena and Pokemon, so if you're looking for a different game to watch as well, great source for that as well. Anyways, on into this deck tech breakdown. It's such a nice deck, and being able to do what it does for what it does, it is so nice, right? So first off, we have one Arboreal Grazer, and this is because I didn't have 4 copies of Pelt Collector. So if you have all 4 copies, by all means play all 4 copies. If you don't, you know, the Grazer does help you ramp into the back end, and you can put counters on Grazer later with other things. So Pelt Collector, gonna get counters put on it whenever you play a creature with higher power than it, and of course whenever you throw down Conclave Mentor, it's gonna get 2 counters on it. Conclave Mentor is really a huge basis for this deck. This is a 2-mana 2/2 that reads, if 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many +1 +1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead. Whenever Conclave Mentor dies, you gain life equal to its power. So this card can get really big and then gain you a whole lot of life while also making all of your other creatures, well, really big. So Stonecoil Serpent, this is an X cost card. It is protection from multicolored, reach, trample, and enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters. Generally, I see myself playing this down turn 2, turn 3, but then of course with Conclave Mentor, it gets, you know, 1 extra counter, so it becomes, you know, a little bit bigger. Wildwood Scourge is a really awesome Hydra card that came out in M21, and it's also only an uncommon, so it's really cheap. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it enters with X +1/+1 counters, so however much you pay for X, it's going to have that many counters on it. And then it reads, whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on another non-Hydra counter or creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter on Wildwood Scourge. So this works fantastically with Conclave. So what ends up happening with Conclave is Pelt Collector comes down, or whatever, you know, you get a creature with counters on it, you put a creature with counters on it down, and then it's going to get counters from that creature having counters put on it, right? And then because Conclave Mentor is going to put another counter on that creature, it's going to put another 2 counters on Wildwood. So Wildwood's going to be gaining 4 counters whenever you throw a Stonecoil down just from having Conclave Mentor down, right? And Wildwood already down. So you see, it's going to get very big, very fast. And of course, if you have multiple Conclaves down, then it does it even more. Now, if that wasn't good enough for you, if you didn't enjoy that enough, we get to play Proliferate with this deck. What? One of my favorite mechanics that never really saw too much play. And this card especially, Grateful Apparition, 2-mana 1/1 flying that reads, whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, Proliferate, which means you get to add +1/+1 counters, or really counters of any type, to the permanents that already have them. So if you have a planeswalker down and it's sitting at 3 loyalty, you swing it with Grateful Apparition. Now it can be bumped up to 4 loyalty, which is, well, really great given you have a Basri Ket and you want to get to that emblem where you're putting +1/+1 counters on everything, because again, this ties back into Conclave Mentor. And in general, the +1/+1 counter you get from this is really good as well, because again, it ties back in with Conclave Mentor. Not to mention the fact that you also have Ajani the Greathearted, so adding counters, or adding loyalty to this to where you can add counters to everything else, including your Basri Ket, is, again, this deck just works like a little ball of yarn. It's like every piece is intertwined and connected to the next piece, and actually turns out to just be one long piece of yarn. Does that make sense? Sort of. Anyways, we also have 4 copies of Growth Spiral to help us ramp up as well as draw cards to keep us, you know, having things to play, not just top decking. Simic Ascendancy, like I said, you can win with this, and for 3 mana, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, which can be really, really nice. Unbreakable is going to give you some protection from board wipe, as well as give +1/+1 counters to all your creatures, as well as Vigilance, so it's really strong for, again, the beatdown. Basri Ket, we kind of talked about. Ajani, we talked about. And then last but not least, we have Basri's Lieutenant. Everything's getting counters, so that means if you do get board wipe and you don't have your Unbreakable to stop it, Basri's Lieutenant is going to give you, you know, those 2/2 White Knight creature tokens back, which are going to allow you to finish out the game, or, you know, give you extra creatures to put counters on, whatever you see fit. So all in all, this is a fantastic deck. Super awesome to play, super fun to play, and honestly, it hits. It hits consistently, and it hits very, very, very hard. Now, obviously, I recommend you watch all the way through the gameplay, get those pro tips, and at the end, the deck tech wrap-up, I'm super excited for this one because there's a lot of things you can do with this deck to make it either more fun or more competitive. Even though I found making it more competitive was a little difficult because this deck is already very, very up there, right? Anyways, hope you all enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you at the end of the video. So, yeah, without further ado, on into the matches. KS Growl, or KS Grow 1. I don't know. I don't like not seeing any green mana here off the bat. So, it's unfortunate. We'll take the mulligan. Hey, 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 but look at this hand. Keep it. Keep it all day. Unfortunately, I'm going to put back one of the Pelt Collectors. Too bad Grateful Apparition isn't a 2/2. Man, could you imagine the power this card would have? That's alright. I see you eyeballing my Grateful Apparition. Stop it. Leave it alone. Bum bum bum. Does Mono Red have the removal? Find out next time on Yes They Do. Because it's Mono Red, so screw you. That's fine. Whatever. I didn't want to play Grateful Apparition anyways. Make them remove something here. Wow, seriously? You didn't? That's an actual surprise. So, moving on up in the world. Moving on up. I like this deck, by the way. It looks like we're able to deal tons of damage very quickly. Risk. Yeah, right. Hit me in the face with that. You think I care about 4 damage? I'm smacking you around with 8. Yeah, right. I'm excited to see what the hospital does for this deck. Chris Go 316. Alright, no white mana, but we have the Grazer and the Growth Spiral to ramp, so I do like that. Oh, there's some white mana. Alright, so we can actually Growth Spiral and get down Conclave Mentor. Alright. They playing Death Touch deck? What? They are. Interesting. I like how Death Touch decks are the new Cavalcade decks. Alright, bear with me. I think we go Grateful Apparition here. And the reason being, on the next turn we're going to have 5 mana, which means we can play the Conclave Mentor and then play Unbreakable. And with having a Grateful Apparition able to attack, we'll be able to put all those counters on our creatures, right? Or build all those counters, so we'll see if I'm right or not. But Grim Dancer, man, this opponent, relentless. Fucking relentless. Oh, another Grateful Apparition? Well, motherfucker. Alright, we're waiting a turn. We're waiting a turn. I can't turn down 2 Grateful Apparitions. You're crazy. We'll just hit them for the 1. There's nothing we want to proliferate. Well, everything just has Death Touch, doesn't it? Okay, so our board state has been established. Why didn't I swing it with everything? Fuck, I don't actually know. Y'all know me. I don't make the best decisions. Well, too bad we couldn't have the Simic Ascendancy down for that. We definitely would have procced it, huh? Holy shit. Do they have enough to kill us? I guess that's the question. We have enough to kill them, so I guess it doesn't really matter, huh? Oh, man. They choose to kill the one that's going to give me life back. That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting for sure. Alright, well, GG, Crisco. Man, that was great. And I just realized the pun in their name. Crisco. I mean, there's a Simic Ascendancy. I really want to try to win with Simic Ascendancy. Y'all know me. If there's an alt win con, sign me up. Yeah, I mean, land's not terrible. Yeah, we definitely could have won that last game though with Simic Ascendancy. That'd have been funny. Ash Storm Blessed. Ash Storm Blessed. What a name. I feel like there should be a "the" in there. Ash the Storm Blessed, right? Or Ash Bless the Storm. I guess that's completely reordering it, huh? Alright, so we get down Conclave Mentor, and then I think we do get down a cheeky little Stonecoil. Alright, free counters, baby. Free counters. Oh, I wish we had one more land. Then on our next turn we could go Wildwood into an Unbreakable. That would be the nuts. Alright, that's fun. Cloudkin. It's an Elementals deck. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so very excited. So we pay here. We put 2 here. This is coming along quite nicely, if I do say so myself. No attacks. Not until the Unbreakable. I know, I'm a freaking goofball. Let's just hope they don't Brazen Bar or my Simic Ascendancy. Oh, I get so mad. Yeah, I can send it to your DM. Just give me a minute to kick this person's ass. I was gonna say man, but it could be a woman, and I don't like the idea of me saying, "Let me go kick this woman's ass." Like, right? That sounds terrible. So, let me kick this person's ass. Give me the counters. That's like serious fucking damage. Even without the Simic Ascendancy about to win for us, that's some serious damage. Bruh. Ash, what do you even do in a situation like this? Alright, you either deal with the creatures or you deal with Simic Ascendancy, but you can't do both, can you? Well, hell, Unsummon is a great way to start. Bum, 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 bum. Oh! Just don't wilt my Simic Ascendancy, I swear to God. Oh, yes. GG. They didn't even know. They don't. Sure, we'll keep. We have the Simic Ascendancy and 2 Grateful Apparitions. I don't see why not. I actually want another land over just a Grazer. Ooh, Garrick's Uprising. It's gonna cost me a ton of life, I know. Alright, Surf 021. Excuse me. Grazer, and they shocked in a land, so I'm expecting. So, this is a new person. Oh, you son of a bitch. There shall be no fun had here today. Are you shitting me, bruh? You want to fight? You'll get a fight, motherfucker. Thanks. Although I shouldn't take credit here, Surf. This is not my creation. I got another Mythos. Death Sprout. I said, okay, you got it. Kratos is going to be our next foe. Yeah, I mean, sure. This is okay. We got the Pelt Collector into the Growth Spiral. I'd really like it if we could have gone first, but, you know. We got the 1, 2, 3, 4 curve. Not that we're going to use this on 3, but it's there. It's there nonetheless. Alright. Just scare him a little bit. Alright, so we are already up to 4 mana. Which means we can go straight for the Lieutenant if we want. Why not? Come on. Oh, baby, it landed. By the way, I put the counter on the Lieutenant. So if they have a Storm's Wrath, something along those lines, Lava Cool, right? Won't be able to hit it. So just so you know my line of play with that, or my thought process, I guess, with that. Playing the radical idea. Wow, they must not have anything in hand. Conclave Mentor. I think that warrants shocking a land in. Because you go Conclave, then you go Stonecoil for 3. It boosts the Pelt Collector, which... well, motherfucker. I do love me a good old unwind. More counter magic? You fucking savage. Soul Seer. Still a fucking savage. Whatever you do, don't Storm's Wrath me. Oh, don't Storm's Wrath me, please. Oh, please, Kratos. I sit in your eyes. The desire to board wipe me. So strong. Booyah. Alright, well, let's go Grateful Apparition. We're not playing Unbreakable. We're instead saving that 3 mana for any / everything the opponent may throw at us, so... they're clearly looking for a Storm's Wrath. We have lethal if they don't have that, so... even if they do have it, we have Unbreakable, right? So they would need Storm's Wrath plus counter magic, but not saying they don't have it. We're just hoping that they don't. Let's see it. I feel like if they would have had it, though, they would have cast it immediately. So I'm going to say they don't have it, and they're looking for an answer. What's up? Say my name. Woohoo! Alrighty, you made it all the way through the matches. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you. Wasn't it awesome? Wasn't this deck just so kick-ass it made you want to go play it literally immediately? So, taking a look here at the deck tech wrap-up. Oh, by the way, again, be sure to go follow Bearded Fox on Twitch, and be sure if you enjoyed the video to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, as well as go and follow me on Twitch. And then, of course, down in the description, there is a place for the Discord link where if you're interested in submitting decks, there's a special little spot just for it, and it helps me keep track of them, right? So hopping over here into the deck tech wrap-up, Gird for Battle is a really awesome card, and it does a lot more in this deck than what it does in most. So put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. If you have your Conclave Mentor down, you're basically putting 4 counters onto the board. And if you have your Wildwood Scourge, you're basically putting 8. Right? 8 counters for 1 mana card. So you have Pelt Collector, you played down Stonecoil, you have Conclave, and then you have Wildwood. Obviously, that's a whole lot of creatures on the board. Still, it's very nice, and it's not that unrealistic, right, for you to have 4 creatures. You could even have Grateful and Wildwood and whatever. The Ozolith is great because, obviously, you're not always going to be able to protect your creatures and all this kind of stuff. So getting the Ozolith down, having your counters, you know, go onto this, and then being able to reapply the counters to your creature, one, saves the strength that you've been building up over the course of the game, right, with all these counters. It also really works out well with Simic Ascendancy. So you have 10 counters that you've built up on a creature. Obviously, Simic Ascendancy, gonna get those 10 counters put on it. You put those 10 counters on the Ozolith, come the next turn, when you replace those 10 counters on another creature, you're gonna put 10 more counters on Simic Ascendancy. So it's a great way if you're looking to win with that. You know, and I know a lot of people are gonna be like, Ozolith. Well, here it is. If you don't have Unbreakable, Basri Solidarity is a great replacement. It is only a sorcery, but you still get to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and it costs a little less. So, you know, pretty good sub out, and it's rotation proof. So, most important there, right? Sorry, my mic thing just slid off my chair. Feat of Resistance, 2 mana instant speed, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Again, pretty good at keeping your creatures alive. It's rotation proof, it's only a common. It does well. Here's one a lot of people might not think about, but if you're looking to go a little bit more controlling, you certainly can. There's things like Essence Capture, which allows you to counter target creature spell and put a +1/+1 counter on up to one target creature you control, so that's nice. Teferi's Time Twist is a great way at keeping your creatures alive. Now, they are going to lose all their counters, so again, if you're going to go for Teferi's Time Twist to protect your creatures, I do recommend that you go for the Ozolith as well, so when they get exiled, your counters don't just get lost, right? However, it's nice that whenever the creature re-enters the battlefield, it's going to enter with an additional +1/+1 counter, right? Next up, we have Growth Chamber Guardian. This thing gets to adapt for 2, which means it gets 2 +1/+1 counters put on it. Obviously, if you have if you have a Conclave Mentor, then you get an additional +1/+1 counter put on it, so that's good. And you can sort of stack your deck full of these and then just bring them all out, right? So it's nice there. It's good for Simic Ascendancy. All around, it's a good card, but it is getting rotated out. So I recommend, again, if you have it, play it. If not, don't worry about it. Heroic Intervention is kind of like it's kind of better than Unbreakable Formation, and it's, you know, it doesn't give the +1/+1 counters Vigilance, but it does give you Hexproof, Indestructible, you know, 2 mana instead of 3. It's nice, and it's rotation proof, right? Pollen Bright Druid, 2 mana card, working more into that Proliferate. It's nice because you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and get something started, like a Grateful Apparition or whatever. However, you can also Proliferate, which means you can boost up your Planeswalkers and all your creatures at the same time for 2 mana and getting a creature down. It's pretty good value, and it's only uncommon, right? Heliod Sun Crown. So the cool thing about this card is Light of Promise, right? So these cards kind of go hand in hand. Now you do gain life here and there because of Ajani the Greathearted, and you have Conclave Mentor, right? So you do have life being gained. But if you want to play into Light of Promise, which reads 3 mana enchantment, whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature, which I think is really nuts. I recommend going for Heliod because 2 mana, you can make a target creature gain lifelink, and with how big you're going to be making these creatures, whenever they gain you know, 7, 8, 9 life, if you have Light of Promise down, it's going to be that many counters put onto your creature, which is, you know, it's not a Hydra's Growth necessarily, but you are sort of doubling it up if you keep putting lifelink on the creature that has this, right? If that makes sense. Since a lot of your creatures are like, their power and toughness are going to be however many counters they have, right? Speaking of counters and doubling and all that good stuff, Hydra's Growth, it's a great card for a deck like this, right? You get down these cards that are going to be gaining so many counters anyways, and then you're doubling the amount of counters they have. It's a great way to hit your Simic Ascendancy or just have a really large creature in general. Yes, you can play Mowu. I know a lot of people are like, hey, Chance, don't forget this awesome doggo. I know, 4 mana, 3/3 Vigilance Trample. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Mowu, put that many +1/+1/+1 counters on it. So the cool thing is with this in Conclave Mentor, you use Unbreakable and you go to put a counter on it, right? Mowu's going to proc and cause you to put 2 counters on it, and Conclave Mentor is going to cause another counter, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, maybe 2 counters if 1 or more put that many. I don't know how the proc of this would work, like if it would go Mowu procs all the way through, which I'm assuming it would, right? And then Conclave procs all the way through, so just 2 extra counters. Either which way, you can get Mowu very big. It's only an uncommon, and it has Vigilance and Trample, so pretty cool all in all. And then let's not forget the other adapt creatures, the ones like Zagana, right? Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Trample. That's a great way at giving your whole board state Trample, right? Not to mention the fact that whenever she enters the battlefield, if you control another creature with a +1/+1 counter, you get to draw a card. So 4 mana for a 4/4 that allows all your creatures with +1/+1 counters to have Trample and allows you to draw a card. Really good. Not to mention the fact that if you don't have any other way to put counters on her or whatever, you can pay 6 mana and add 4 +1/+1 counters and make her into an 8/8, right? So all in all, very, very good. And then last but not least, if you're looking to keep the deck low curve while still being able to add all those counters, Venerated Loxodon is another great, great card. So all that being said and out of the way, that's going to do it for the Deck Tech wrap up. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you found value in this deck. And most importantly, I hope you go out and try this deck, because this is certainly one to be playing. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. As always, I hope to see you either later tonight or tomorrow. Peace out.